Welcome back to Women in the Making, where we celebrate the extraordinary journeys of women who defy odds, chase dreams, and leave indelible marks in the canvas of life. Today, we have the privilege of stepping into the captivating world of Kiran, a visionary photographer whose lens captures not just moments, but stories. From humble beginnings in India to becoming a revered artist in the heart of Seattle, her tale is a testament to the transformative power of self-belief and unwavering passion and determination. Join us as we explore the depths of her experiences and profound impact of her artistry. Get ready to be inspired and reminded of the beauty that lies within every frame of life's narrative. Kiran, welcome to Women in the Making. Thank you for taking the time out to be here today.
So thank you so much for the grand introduction. Thanks for having me, and I am looking forward to have this conversation with you. I'm really excited.
Let's start at the very beginning. I love to start the show knowing about your childhood, where you came from, how did your journey look like? Can you walk us through how your life belonged when you were growing up?
My childhood was pretty amazing. Growing up in a big, huge joint family was a blessing. I had a lot of cousins, uncle, aunts. Every time we met was just a celebration. And it was just a blast. And I also grew up in a business oriented background where I saw the men being in charge and ran the whole show, and women were just housewives. But all in all, it was just a safe environment. It was so protected, loved, and I was just this happy go lucky kind of a girl. So, and yeah, it was just an amazing environment.
I know that you came from India, and while growing up, we all kind of come from a conservative background, and there were limitations imposed upon you.
Absolutely.
Do you want to take us back there?
Yes, I don't know if my dad would be very happy to listen to this, but it's the truth. So I did have limitations growing up, and it was. It's not that I didn't have the freedom. I did, but my freedom was. It had a lot of boundaries. And early on, I learned that my father was very conservative. He was extremely loving, but very conservative. And I soon realized that what was my expectation? The expectation was actually to just get married as soon as possible, get married respectfully, and move on. So, sadly but true, that was the only expectation I had growing up. So, that was a big limitation I had. So, yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
So you came from a family where everybody was educated. What about your mom? Like, did she actually land up doing any sort of education?
No. My mom was actually from a very small village back in India, and she was a very naive and just such a loving mom. She didn't see the world than just the four walls of her house, and not only her, even if I had some educated aunts and
They were confined to boundaries.
they were just happy housewives, and that's all I saw growing up.
There was
And
no pressure to become a housewife, but that was not encouraged to go out and work.
absolutely, it was no, it was very, it was a fact that my ultimate goal was
Was to just get married
and
settle
respectfully.
down. Yes.
So that was very clear.
Yeah.
So, but I did have dreams growing up. I remember two dreams, which was I wanted to be a professional basketball player. And I
Sounds like
want,
my story.
yes, yes. And I also wanted to have my small little business. Growing up in a business background, it just gave me some joy to sell something. So it came natural to me. I wanted to do a business. And um, I knew this part of my father that he was conservative, right? So I used to sell art products without his knowledge because I was so scared. And I knew that he would not approve of that. I used to make custom art albums.
Wow,
And
that's
yes,
fun.
yeah, customized photo frames actually, and I sold them without his knowledge. So yeah, I used to kind of dream about those things.
So you got married and you moved to America,
Yes.
and then you were working here, or were you not working here?
So, like we talked about the limitations, I did not have any job experience for obvious reasons. I did not have any particular skill sets. I got married and I moved to America without having any skills, and all I had was a lot of time in my hand. So that was me 15 years ago, just didn't know what to do.
What was the turning point that made you realize there is passion for photography?
So the turning point really was moving to the US, getting married. I was here 15 years ago. My husband knew that I was obsessed with taking pictures of myself. And I used to.
Even in the world where selfies didn't exist?
No, it did not. I used to go to photo studios, take pictures of myself with my family
Wow.
and my friends, and I have tons of albums growing up. So he knew that about me, and he gifted me a new DSLR camera. And I just fell in love with it. I picked it up and I just saw how beautifully it was capturing the moments, and that was it. I picked it up, and that was a major
The
turning
start
point.
of your photography life.
Absolutely, my husband will be very happy to hear this.
What happened in that moment when you saw that album in your hand? Tell me exactly the emotions that ran into your mind, that you wanted to think that maybe this is it, that you've arrived. Because a lot of times, as women or men or as people are not able to arrive, right? And you didn't even have a background. You didn't come from, like you said, any skill set. You didn't come from any backing except for your husband. And I'm also thankful to him because today, you are in this. Of course, it's your passion and your drive and your purpose is there. Because I always tell people when I'm giving a speaking engagement that your passion and your purpose needs to go hand in hand to find your bigger vision in life. So tell me about that moment. And I know you're getting emotional.
So it's quite interesting because growing up, I actually always had a point and shoot in my hand since eighth grade.
With the reels, the rolls, what do you call the rolls?
Yes, the film camera, and then I had this tiny point and shoot, and it was really the obsession to freeze moments and to look back in time again and again. It was a clear obsession, and I never realized that it's actually my passion. Strange but true. And when I found this camera, it just took me to a different level, and I thought maybe there is something, but at this point it was just a gadget, and I didn't know what was photography. I didn't know how this camera worked, and that's when I decided to learn more about it, and that's what I did. I went to Bellevue Community College, and that was the best decision ever.
That's amazing because
Yes.
it's funny that you say that. I have a similar story to share.
You do?
Yes, I had a lot of passion for photography. I started a photography page. I went to Bellevue Community College.
I need to see
I
that.
learned photography and I started capturing stuff. I think I just got lost. And I'm glad you landed because this is what
Yes.
happens to a lot of us. We get so carried away with our life that we forget that we had a vision, we had something planned for our life.
Yep.
And we just don't hold on to that timeline
Totally.
in our life and then time just runs away.
Absolutely.
Kiran, you mentioned about going to Bellevue Community College,
Yes.
and so did I. And there's so much that happens in a college setting where you learn, you grow, you prosper as an individual, but you also come out so clean and clear with your aspirations. And I'm assuming that is what happened with you, that you decided to pursue photography as a serious business. Is that true?
Absolutely. Absolutely true. It's funny but true. It took a different country and a complete stranger to plant this seed in me to show my true passion for photography, and it happened in this class. The professor was just so motivating, and I had never heard those words before. She told me that I had something in me, I had an eye, and I was gifted.
Lovely.
That I held on to, I think, and and then it was that was it. I just wanted to dig deeper and learn more, and I just didn't stop. So that
Wow.
was a major turning point for me.
I really appreciate that because a lot of times as individuals, we think we are done with our education.
No.
And I was one of those people back then when I had done my MBA. I thought I was so done for life. When I had the opportunity to go to college in America,
Oh wow.
I took that with full leap of faith, and I don't think I can regret it for a second. And I feel learning should be part of your growth and your
Oh
journey.
yes.
One should never stop learning, and so does in any profession, right?
Oh
The
yes.
time you stop learning is time when you stop growing.
Oh,
And I'm
so
sure
true.
as a photography business, you have to be constantly evolving with creative ideas.
Oh yes.
So, asking you another question, what were the obstacles that you had to face, considering you had to start, of course, from nothing and start this passion with also not knowing anything about living in a completely different country?
Absolutely. The start was very slow, and the biggest limitation was actually because of me. I did not have any faith in my art. I did not have faith in my ability. I did not value my time, and I did not have a vision. That was a big one. I
I
did
love
not see
that.
myself what I wanted to do with this gift I had. It was one day at a time, one shoot at a time. That's it. So this I wish I knew about having a vision early on. I learned it the hard way.
Yeah.
And once I know how this whole vision worked, everything else became really clear to me. I know exactly how much to charge, how to value my time, and it was a beautiful song soon after that, which was pretty cool.
I love that because I think as an entrepreneur, a lot of times we don't realize how lonely we are.
Oh yes,
It's a
and
journey where a lot of times you're not able to explain it to anyone, right? And you're so involved being an entrepreneur that you are in a journey where words are not louder than actions, right? You have to perform an action and then speak about them. It's completely opposite to what, you've learned all your life. So I'm glad you shared that,
oh
and
yes,
I'm so inspired by your journey.
oh I'm so glad. Yes, absolutely.
You transitioned from various photography genres and landed up into maternity and
Yes.
newborn. And I really want to know what inspired this shift because I've not heard that people shift as much as you have. So take us back to that journey.
Absolutely. So there was a point where I did everything. I was an event photographer. I did weddings. I did fashion. I did
Wow. Well,
newborn
I didn't know about that.
babies. Yes, I did pretty much everything. And I found myself actually getting exhausted. And it was more like jack of all and master of none. I wasn't really great at something. I was trying to do everything. So at this point, it was getting exhausting. And newborn, a fun fact, I never wanted to do newborn pictures at all because it was nerve wracking to hold a baby. And I didn't have babies at that point, and I could not relate to it. So I did not want to do those handling the newborns. So soon it changed when I actually was expecting my first child. It was a sudden shift. Loved documenting this whole pregnancy. My hormones was off the
Skyrocket.
chart. Yes, I felt the need to look gorgeous and beautiful, and I started making my own gowns.
Wow.
Yeah, I started draping the fabrics and the saris, and I started having fun with it, and I had such a blast documenting that. And soon after, my princess was here, and I took pictures of her, obviously,
Yes.
and I knew it. This was it. I. It was very gratifying to see those pictures and the tiny details, and I just fell in love with it. And slowly, I decided, this is it. I'm going to do just the maternity and newborns, and I slowly stopped doing events. I said no to events and weddings and fashion and everything else.
Wow.
This was it for me.
That is incredible.
Yes.
I absolutely love that because I almost feel like we are sisters from another mothers because I started
How fun.
photography and I did a
Yes.
lot of events
Yes.
for friends and some
you did
external
too?
people.
Oh my
And then when I got pregnant, I wanted to start doing that, but I stopped.
Yes,
And
thank
you
goodness.
continued. So that's the difference, and that's the shift we
Oh
are
my
talking about.
goodness.
And I've seen a lot of your beautiful pictures, and they're very glamorous. So, how
Thank
do you
you.
infuse glamour and fashion in the photography world?
Yes. I think it's just a personal expression when I do my sessions. And I experienced when I was carrying this baby, I felt the need to look gorgeous. I wanted to feel glamorous. So, and it just made sense to, if I wanted to feel like a goddess, I wanted the crown, I wanted the long gowns and all the elaborate stuff. And this whole thing just fell in place, the whole fashion, the glamour, and this huge emotional roller coaster that I'm going. And I thought every woman would really want this because it's such a big milestone of a woman's life.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, that is amazing because coming from a background of not owning anything of your even self expression to bringing expressions to life from yourself to other women, that is what an enormous journey you've had. And did you have at any point a particular session that you did or a photography session that made you feel and reaffirm your decision making
Oh,
process?
I'm glad you asked this. I love this question. Um, I feel honored that I get to cry with my clients, laugh with them,
Oh,
and I even dance with them. Uh, but to answer to your question, I recently experienced this with one of my newborn client. It was a newborn photo shoot. It was going great. The mom was in love with the baby, obviously. But when I dressed her up and I wrapped the baby and I held the baby in her hand and I put a crown on her head, she had tears in her eyes. She was
that's so beautiful.
she was so emotional, and then she said to me, "Kiran, I am emotional because my the doctors told me that I could not never have babies." And to be actually cherishing this in this small all set up, and I really feel like a goddess. I have this baby in my hand is a big deal for her. And that was a moment, was it was a very emotional moment, and it felt
Yeah.
so good that I'm actually able to do this for others. Is very very rewarding.
So many of us as women, who go through fertility
Oh my goodness,
issues and,
yes.
just normal pregnancy problems. And it's not, they say it's vocal, but it's not because a lot of time women are not able to really be as expressive as they want to. And I think there are moments like that,
Yes.
like the way you are capturing, is when they realize all of that,
It just comes.
comes in effect and they realize where they have come around, so it's unbelievable, but
It
it's
is.
so true. Kiran, how has photography empowered you both personally and professionally?
Oh, wow. It has definitely, through photography, I have been personally benefited a lot. I have been so confident, and I was never confident in while growing up. And I realized I have to value my time and my craft, which I eventually did. And professionally, I was also benefited. I was finally able to provide for my family. I was financially getting there to, be able to
I
provide
love
for
that.
my daughter, and I was just not a
That's such a great
housewife.
feeling, right?
I was just not a housewife, and then I finally decided to charge my worth. I finally decided to stick to my instinct, and then I just went with it.
I think it's so important as women, and this is the reason that I've created this show, is to inspire women to be independent, to be courageous, to be fearless, make your own money, and
Oh, yes.
understand that world and this work that you do is not, there's no limitations. Anytime you put limitations on yourself, you're going to be absorbed by the energies around you.
Yes.
And you have to evolve yourself as a person, as an individual with your craft, like you said, or find that passion that drives your purpose and understand to get out of your comfort zone and become something that you are today.
Yes.
I'm
And I
so
think,
glad you did.
yeah. And I think I've come a long way. My first gig was $30. And though I was very excited about
Yes,
it,
I was just going to say.
it really makes me smile when I think about it. But I have come a long way.
Yes.
It wasn't easy. I was very scared to charge a decent amount. And I think it really has empowered me to stay true to my photography business.
Tell me if you've encountered any challenges or setbacks. As an entrepreneur, the journey is never easy. You had a baby in your hand and you had a budding business that you wanted to grow.
Yes.
So tell somebody who's watching you today, who aspires to be joining their own entrepreneur journey, how easy or difficult it is.
Actually, having a baby at that point was a big blessing. I didn't want to do newborn photography, but I had this baby in my hand, and I have practiced day and night with this little baby of mine. And I just got hands on knowledge how to hold the baby, how to pose the baby. And I just took that as a blessing. And I was at home. So I had a lot of time and I just learned a lot. And it's so much easier to hold your own baby
Yeah.
and not somebody else's, because I cannot take a chance. Not that I would take a chance with my own baby, but I
Yeah, you're more
slowly
accustomed to that.
learned.
So
So
it's
cute.
magical, right? There's magic in that lens and there's magic in your hands. So I'm so glad that our viewers are actually seeing the pictures while we are talking right
Oh,
now.
wow.
So
That's exciting.
I hope you're able to see the kind of work that Kiran has been bringing. And it's so beautiful to see these cute little faces and the beautiful mommies.
Yes, absolutely.
What advice do you want to give to somebody who is really hesitant to do something right now? She's scared to get out of her comfort zone because comfort zones are so comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
The couches, the Netflix, the friendships, the wine, the whiskey is so amazing. But it still requires you to do the work, which means getting out of that bed, getting out of that couch, maybe less meetings, maybe less hangouts to become another Kiran in the making.
I liked how you put that beautifully. So, my advice or suggestion rather would be, no matter how small or big your idea is, run with it. Don't wait. And definitely have a vision for it. Dare yourself to dream big about that small idea. Your idea might be small, but your dreams need not be small.
Yeah.
I again learned it again a hard way. I wish I had a vision early on. Vision really helped me and will help anyone to see the future path so much clearer. It's like if you don't put a destination in Google Maps, you will not know how to go. You might end up going to the destination, but it might just take longer.
Yeah.
But if you do, you know exactly what to do next, you
Yeah.
know?
So true. I think a lot of times, like you said, just start the work,
Start the
start the
work.
process.
And also think about it day in and day out. Think about it, learn
As
about
if your
it,
life depends on it.
romanticize about it, fantasize about it. And if it makes you smile, I think you're in the right state.
Oh,
So,
that's
yep.
so well said. I think that's something that we forget so many times, right? That people are driving their energies in the wrong direction and they're probably not even happy where they belong.
Yes.
I mean, they're not even happy where they are right now, which means they probably don't belong there.
Maybe.
So, like she said, if you can smile with what you're doing right now,
Yep.
and if every day doesn't feel like a chore and a hassle and a pain, then you're on the right path. But if it does, then you have to rethink where you are.
Totally. Yeah.
And this is one of the most exciting segments for me, and they're called burning questions.
Yes.
Are you
Bring it
ready?
on. Yes, I love
Okay.
those.
Tell us a secret nobody knows about you.
Yes, I secretly wanted to be a model.
Ooh.
Yes. Not a
Well,
lot of people
there's
know.
time for everything.
Yes, I'm always posing and secretly think I'm a model. So I wanted to be a model. Yep.
Why do you say wanted to be? Why don't you think that you can still pursue it?
I don't know the answer to the question. I
Well-
think I'm just so comfortable and happy behind the scene. Though I take a lot of my pictures, but professionally doing you know you never know. You never
Yeah,
know. I
you
might,
never
but
know.
I'm secretly I
Now you're
secretly
smiling with it, so I'm
Yes,
assuming you
see?
should go with it.
yes.
I'm sure a lot of fashion people are watching you right now, so you can. She's available to hire.
Yes, yes.
All right. So the next question: dream location for a photo shoot.
So honestly, it was my personal dream location was when I was expecting my second child. I wanted to go to Vegas with my most flowy gowns. I
Oh,
wanted
I
to.
thought she was almost going to say Bora Bora, and she landed up in
No,
Vegas.
Vegas. Yes, that's me. I wanted to be in the middle of the Vegas streets with all the flashy lights and the buildings, and I wanted to do my maternity photo shoot. Well, it never happened, but otherwise, I think I do
What a cool
not.
idea!
Yes,
I love that.
Yes, maybe my third one. Yeah.
Your husband is watching. He's like, bring it on.
Yes, I'm sure he would love that.
All right. If you have to photograph a celebrity today, who would you select?
Honestly, I feel all my clients are my celebrities.
Oh, I love that.
I love the fact that I get to dress them up and put the crown and the flowers and all the gowns and everything, and they really enjoy that hour or 2 hours, and they feel so happy. There is a song at the background and the lights flashing, and we're like singing, dancing. It is really a moment of celebration, and they are my true celebrities. But personally, I would love to meet Hrithik Roshan.
That's a Bollywood actor.
Yes, the Greek god.
So, what is the weirdest or the funniest thing you've done probably in a photo shoot?
The most funniest thing until today would be when I was fully pregnant, and one pregnant lady is shooting another pregnant lady itself is hilarious.
so
And
funny.
yes, it was every time I picked the camera to shoot another.
Walking the bumps.
It was very weird. And yeah, so you can imagine, and I'm kind of trying to take angles, and the dad is worried. And it is just weird.
Well, I'm just imagining it as you're like saying it, and it's really funny.
It's absolutely hilarious. Those were hilarious moments.
That's great.
And the weirdest thing I do all the time when I'm shooting toddlers, I am cracking butt jokes and poop jokes and all the possible fart jokes. And I'm like making funny faces. I can go down to any angles to get a shot. I am not afraid. I'm on my back, on my tummy. I can do anything.
That is really amazing. I need to come and check out a photo shoot just to have some fun.
Yes.
Next photo shoot, I'm coming.
Yes, it'll be a blast. I promise.
I'll be your assistant
Oh, and a model too.
and a model. That my husband can vouch for. I can be any day.
Yes. That'll be fun.
And while we are wrapping this episode, which has been so special to me because we've had enormous fun, you can actually ask me any question if you want to.
Yes, I've been thinking, how did you start this? What is your journey to explore so many stories? And
Well, I love telling stories. I've been on stages where I have been a speaker, and I also started my life as a journalist. So at some point last year, I decided that I want to be the voice for women because I could not be a voice for myself for 20 years. I kept on living everybody else's dreams and not mine. And I wanted to hear myself for once and
Wow.
bring women to power, bring other women's to voice thinking it was my own. And one day I know I will share my entire story with the world when the
Yes.
time is right. But at this time, I feel so great when I hear stories of resilience, stories that are so encouraging, stories that have so much wisdom and knowledge and perseverance and, shattered dreams and encouraged dreams.
Wow.
And when I bring these stories right now to limelight and to reality, I feel I'm making myself proud
Oh, yeah.
and also empowering so many women out there who are like me, who did not have a voice. People kept on questioning me, you doing this now? Oh, you're doing this now?
Oh, wow.
Oh, you quit? Oh, oh. So
lot
I
of
heard
O's.
so many O's in my life that I did not want to be just called the next O.
Oh.
I wanted to be, oh, she's
She's
the
the
one.
one.
So,
There you
in
are.
short,
Yes,
that
there
is
you are.
the answer to your question. But yes, I
Wow.
hope I'm able to empower many, many people, many, many women around the world by doing the little gesture that I'm doing by Women in the Making.
It's amazing, and I wish you all the best. You are doing so amazing to bring so many women, and being here today was really so exciting.
It was a pleasure to have you here, Kiran, and so proud of your journey. Keep doing the great work that you're doing. You're already empowering women by capturing their most special moments, and they stay for life. So, wish you all the success and lots of encouragement.
Thanks, Nia. Thank you so much.
To our viewers, thank you for tuning in. Remember, no dream is too big and no obstacle is too daunting when faced with courage and determination. Join us next time for another captivating episode. Until then, stay inspired, keep watching, stay fearless, and don't forget to subscribe, follow, and share.